Hey guys, so I'm here with Adrian to do a quick details video, and I'm doing some laundry right now, so the washing machine is kind of loud, but I'm hoping it's not going to come through on the video, but we'll see. So the other day on Instagram I posted a few pictures with Adrian, and I had someone say that they were like, oh, is he new? I haven't seen him before, and I felt so awful because he's actually been with me almost a year. Like, I started my Instagram account when I was expecting him, so it was a long time ago. So I felt really awful, like, oh no, I don't post enough of him, and I really do love him, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon, so I figured I'd make a little video just for him. So, Adrian is an old style Reborn. Like, he's not a certain kid or anything, he's a Berenguer doll. I'm not sure which one or how old, but I'm pretty sure it's an older one. He has some modified parts on his body. I don't know who his artist is. I bought him off eBay, which this was actually one of my better eBay purchases for Reborns, to be honest. He was only $55. Yeah. I was thinking for that price he's probably going to be a mess. But in the photos he was so adorable. I was like, I can't say no to a price like that. And I'm so glad that I did, but he took a lot of work to get him in the condition he is now, because he was so old and everything. Although the lady who sold him to me was very upfront. She had a lot of good photos, so I knew what I was getting into, and for the price I was fine with it. So he has a glued on wig. I'm not sure what type of hair it is. I'm thinking it's mohair. It does not feel synthetic. It feels soft and everything, so it's probably mohair or human hair. But I'm guessing for his price it would not be human hair. And it is glued on, and you can see if you go to the side here, his scalp, what it was when he was, before he was reborn. It's like got like painted hair sort of thing going on underneath. And his hair, as you can see, gets messed up very easily, and when he came to me, his hair was just a matted mess. And it took me several weeks to even get it to this point. Like, using, hold on, coconut oil and fabric softener and all kinds of crazy stuff to get his hair even to this point, where I can actually, you know, run a brush through it and it looks decent when I don't touch it. I don't know what they're made of, but let me mess up his hair some more. His ears have been modified, put to a point. It's not like super realistic sculpting, but I think it's really neat though, because some of it I can see the person's fingerprints who sculpted it, and I think that's really cool. And I wish I knew who made him and how they did it. But it's very hard plastic. I don't think it's on this side, but I think on the other side it is looking like it's gonna come off in the back, but when I felt it hasn't been loose. And he's got a magnet for a pacifier, which I did not know when I bought him that it was in there. I just happened to try and it worked, and he had the same magnet side as my other two dolls at the time, which were Hazel and Toby. I don't have Hazel anymore. And he's got little sculpted fangs. One of them is loose, so eventually I'm going to take these out and make him some new ones, but for now I'll just leave them be unless they break. I have a pacifier on him a lot, and that doesn't seem to hurt them and actually kind of protects them. His eyes, you probably can't really see on camera, they're red, but pretty sure they're plastic, and it almost looks like someone like colored them. It's very strange. I want to get him some new eyes, but when I opened his head up when I got him, like the whole back of his face is backed with a big piece of felt, So it's very hard to even get at his eyes. So it would be a very extensive process to get his eyes out and measure them and figure out what I could replace them with, and then I'm not sure if I'd even like it. And his painting is not like super realistic, wow, or anything. But he does have some blushing and all that. I don't know if it's showing up because it's pretty sunny right now, but there are like some scuff marks and some missing patches in his paint, which I'll admit a lot of the, like that missing patch there was caused by me trying to treat his hair. So part of it's my own fault, but part of it, I mean, he's old and I'm not too concerned about it. Oh, what else? What else? What else? And the inside of his nose is black. I think it is opened too, which is kind of strange because it's painted black, so you can't tell it's open, but it's open. He did, when he came to me, he was actually on his original Berenguer body, which did not have jointed limbs. They were just like floppy, you know, like a store-bought doll, like he was. And he had one of those, oh, I've got a picture of it on my Instagram. It's like this neck plug that's got this big stick coming off it. It's inside their body that holds their head up. But I took it out because it was like, it made him so stiff and he wasn't very cuddly, so I took it out. And I replaced his body entirely. I got this body from Dolls by Sandy because it was the only place I could find a 1/4 limb body. Because that's what he is. I'm actually going to put him in my lap because this is hard to hold him up like that. It was the only place I could find a 1/4 limb body. Like, his limbs don't go very far. Which I did not know that either when I bought him. I just assumed that he was probably 3/4 limb like other Reborns, like, because he was one of the first Reborns I bought, so I didn't know what to look for in terms of limbs. So when I got him and his limbs were so short, I was like, oh, that's strange. I've never seen that before. But he's got red fingernails. The camera is so awful. And very pale skin. Which the nails are kind of meh for me, but it's okay. And when I opened him up, I'm gonna take his socks off while I'm talking. His limbs were not opened. You know, like when you buy a Reborn kit and they've got a hole in them so you can put weighting inside them. His weren't opened, so I actually cut them open with a knife and filled them with poly pellets and sealed them back up so he would have some weight to him. Because he weighed like absolutely nothing when I got him. And these are his calves and foot, not so much his legs, but it's almost like the lighting is too bright right now. So, and his feet are just so tiny. They're just tiny little chubby feet. If you've never had a Berenguer, an older Berenguer before, their vinyl is very hard. They're very hard plastic. They're not as cuddly as your typical Reborn would be, but then again, he is super cuddly because so much of him is cloth. Yeah, he was, well, technically my second boy, but I think of him as my first because the first Reborn boy I got was absolutely horrible, and I ended up having to do a lot of work on him, and I sold him in the end at a loss because the artist actually deleted her eBay, and it was a big to-do and whatever. So he was my first boy that I actually kept and bonded with, and he was my first monster baby. So the little monster that started it all. in a way. Oh, I think what else? Yeah, the 1/4 limb thing actually isn't that bad as people think. I mean, there's a lot of things he can't wear, but he can wear a lot of things if you just, I have a long sleeve white onesie on him all the time. So that makes him able to wear t-shirts and tanks and stuff. It's just he can't wear shorts or a onesie by itself really, but I do have the baby legs, the baby leggings, so I put those on him and he can wear just a onesie or shorts pretty easily. Yeah, he was my first reborn that I had a really strong bond with. Like, I did get Toby before him, and I still have Toby, and I love her, but there was just something about him that I really bonded with him. I think the first week or two I had him, he spent every night in my bed. Just there's snow falling off my roof. And just, I was just obsessed with him from day one. And his original mommy who sent him to me actually made a really good box opening for me. She wrapped everything super nice. She sent me a card and all kinds of stuff. He doesn't fit in any of the clothes he originally came with because I changed his body. And he was on his old original body. He was newborn size. And now I got him, when I got him a new body, I got him like a size up because I felt like his, I'll have to see if I have pictures when I first got him so I could show you guys, but it just looked like his head was way too big for his body and it didn't look right, so I got him I think it's a 22-inch body, which I think is a little bit too big, but it works and I think he looks fairly proportionate. I just don't really like the way his arms look. Like they seem like short and chubby. I think that's just the body. But if anyone does know a place where I could get a better 1/4 limb body, that would be awesome. I've been thinking about learning how to sew my own, but I think it's beyond my sewing capabilities to figure that out. Yeah, that's Adrian. Oh, Adrian Vincent. His middle name is Vincent, by the way. Yeah, so that's all I've got to say about Adrian, I guess. I think I covered everything. So I'll talk to you guys